Hold on. Hey everybody, welcome to our Patreon special extra edition of Mandela Truth or Dare. Mandela True or False? Mandela Truth or Dare?
Yeah, I'm not daring you to do anything. You're fine.
Truth or Dare? True or false? So, welcome. Thanks for joining us. Don't worry about that. We are gonna talk about this. Mandela effect examples that will blow your mind.
And it's definitely crazy, like how many of these I remember one way or another.
Oh my gosh, the tail, the Curious George tail.
So I remember him having like a little upturned tail, and he would like swing from stuff or hang from stuff or, hold a banana with his tail or whatever.
That's interesting. I feel like I remember him having a tail too, but I know that with the boys, he's never had a tail.
Yeah. And that was one that I never noticed, you know.
So now this is true or false if we remember it, right?
Yeah. Like, which way do we remember?
All right. You lead us through it.
I don't have the scrolly thing.
Oh shit, sorry. So this is just it. This is sorry. Nelson Mandela. Okay. Can you see
you gotta push the sideways button.
This one?
No,
this one.
Yes.
Okay. So Nelson Mandela's death. True or false?
He died in 2003.
Yeah.
No. Just push the next button.
Okay.
Shit. Which one do you remember?
I remember the one on the right.
Yeah, me too.
Okay.
Because it's like after it's written out, it doesn't look right, you know?
Yeah, totally. See, I remember the one on the right.
Yeah, same here.
Yeah. Okay. Left. Definitely Berenstein Bears.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, that just doesn't look right.
Remember that? I remember the book where Sister Bear lost her tooth. And I remember that was such a good one. I remember her gently holding her tooth between her two little clawed fingernails. And I was like, I wish I had claws.
Doesn't everybody?
Okay, so we definitely are pretty sure there was a tail.
Yeah, because otherwise he just looks like a bear.
Yeah. Ooh.
So, okay, I always thought it was Sex in the City, but seeing it written out, it's definitely Sex and the City.
Yeah, definitely. Oh,
now, this one though.
Ooh.
Yeah, I did think that Febreze had two E's because it's a breeze.
Me too, 100%, but it's not, is it?
Nah.
Whoa. Okay, that's a trip. Oh, the first one.
No, it's the second one. Now I knew that it was the second one because it spelt like Goldwyn Metro Mayor. Goldwyn Metro.
But we say Meyer in like
the we do say Meyer. Yeah. But that's the only reason that I knew that it was spelled Mayer is because it's like MGM.
Okay, that makes sense. I just tried to spell it in my head and I spelled BOLOGNA. God, their marketing campaign is so specific and like effective.
Yeah, it is. It's a really good one. Now, this one was one that got me.
I for sure thought it had a T in it.
So did I. And it looks right with the T and it looks wrong without it.
Yeah, it does. Weird.
No T.
Man. Oh, yeah, for sure the right, but only because I would search for it when I was trying to order it online and realized it's not spelled FRUIT. And then when I see it, it doesn't look right.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, I definitely remember the one on the right.
Dang. Ooh, turkey leg. Weird. I honestly don't remember either of these, but the turkey leg looks good.
I mean, it seems like something he would eat just because he's kind of shaped like a turkey leg.
Totally. He's not the sexy Jonathan Rhys Meyer. or whoever.
He's no James Spader, I'll tell you that.
He's no James Spader. I'm trying to Jonathan Rhys, somebody who played him on the show. Oh well. Yeah, Monocle for sure, right?
No. That's the thing. I play a shit ton of Monopoly, and like the monocle doesn't look right. He looks like a villain with a monocle, right?
Yeah, but I always felt like I have a history of being a very poor sport at board games, and I always felt like he was against me, so the monocle makes sense to me. Yeah, Dave will not play Monopoly with me since the great meltdown of 2011 when I threw the board at him on Christmas Day and hit him really hard in the head with it. I just like, fuck you and
Why?
your win. He was winning and I was losing.
That's the only reason?
Yeah. I was really getting upset about it. Dave has this tendency to like not just win graciously, but when he's winning, he like shoves it in your face about how much he's winning. And I just couldn't. I mean, now we're starting to get back into games like we play chess. But he's still four. Like of the 4 games we've played, he has won, and I'm teaching him how to play chess, and he wins every fucking time. I hate it so much.
The wrong rules.
Yeah. I was thinking the same thing, but we got a Bobby Fischer board that actually shows you which way all the pieces are supposed to move. I know, it's really cool. It's like a how to learn how to play chessboard. It's really neat.
That is really neat. Oh, this is the Pokemon one.
Okay.
The one on the left looks better, right?
Yeah, and I feel like I remember his black tail. Like the kids have a ton of Pokemon shit too.
I felt like I remembered a blacktail too, despite having like little to no memory of Pikachu. It just seems like
it seems more balanced with a black tail. Like it makes sense.
It seems more pleasing to the eye. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's another thing, is a lot of these could just be like the initial design was kind of shitty.
Yeah.
And our minds improved it because like, okay, if you look at it with the black versus without, like the black, it looks complete. It looks more symmetrical, and our brains tend to do that. They tend to fill in things. Even okay, like looking at clouds, for instance. I forget what the name of the phenomena is, but our brains tend to make faces where there are no faces. Like if you look at wood, if you look at clouds, if you look at a random design, if you look at your fucking ceiling, if you look literally anywhere for, I don't know, more than 5 seconds, your brain's going to pick out a shape that you recognize, because our brains always try to make sense of chaos, because seemingly at any given moment of your lifetime, your brain is picking up so many weird fucking signals coming from everywhere, just barrage of weird ass fucking signals that it's forced to make sense of. And so this is just one more of those.
Interesting. Oh, what's the difference? Oh, the dash?
Hyphen. Yeah, hyphen, right?
Oh. God, I don't know. Seeing it now, it doesn't look right on the left, does it?
I don't know. That's the funny thing, is I didn't remember there being a hyphen until I saw the one on the left. And then I was like, no, maybe that's right. And then my brain, made up the memory of like seeing it imprinted on the bar as well.
Yeah, totally. Okay. I think we talked a lot about this already.
Yeah, the cornucopia or no cornucopia?
I feel like cornucopia.
Now, okay, my hot take is there's no bananas.
There's no bananas, is there?
I remembered there being bananas.
I remember there being bananas too. Maybe it was too phallic for like modern day. I don't know.
Those bananas are too big, man.
Oh man, no bananas. Bananas and balls like could have been okay. And I remembered the green and the purple. That's weird. I think you're right. In this one, the cornucopia just looks better.
Yeah, it does.
Oh, 100% on the left.
Yes.
Yeah,
but it's actually the one on the right.
Weird. Geez, it's
yeah. I thought that it was
yeah, I could definitely see it. Double stuff 1F. That don't seem right to me. Okay,
I agree with you. But there's all the time shit like this happens where they try to get a patent on a phrase or a word, and so maybe this is the only way that they could get the trademark on double stuff, is if they spelt it with one F instead of two.
I think you're 100% right.
And then our brains just fill in, oh, of course there's two F's.
Yeah.
What kind of a fucking moron would spell stuff with
With
one
one
F?
F. So it turns out Ron Jeremy owns the double stuff copyright, and he's not giving it up. Okay. My
Okay,
mother-in-law
so
swears I look like Mona Lisa.
you know what's funny is I used to get that all the time when I was a young goth girl.
That, yeah,
I
right?
even have one picture specifically where I very look like the Mona Lisa.
Yeah, I get it.
Okay, I'm gonna get real close to this because I don't see a difference.
I don't see a difference either. No, she looks
And this
exactly the
is,
same.
I completely agree with you. Like in one of them, she's got a little bit more of a smile, allegedly. Uh, I think that that kind of goes into Luke, I am your father territory,
Yeah, I think so too.
where oftentimes when I was seeing this image when I was a kid, uh, and it was like kind of pop culturally referenced, it would be like in the Animaniacs or something where like she's speaking, or
Yeah.
she's smiling because she ate some fruit striped gum, or
Yep.
singing opera because Cheetos are good.
Yeah. Oh, have you and Alex watched the new oh come on, Aaron, we've watched it a million fucking times with each kid. Um Peabody and Sherman, the new Peabody and Sherman, where like Ty Burrell is the voice of Mr. Peabody.
He watched it a couple of times with Nick, but I haven't seen it, I don't think.
Oh, there's a whole thing where they go back in time and they meet Mona Lisa, and like they do something to make her smile and laugh and stuff. And yeah, so yeah, it goes right along with what you were saying, the pop culture references. Yeah.
Another theory that had been presented was that the Mandela effect is proof of time travel,
That's interesting.
because maybe, just maybe, somebody around 2009 was able to go forward or back and do small things, because either one would be able to shape the other.
Yeah, that's a very good point. I do.
Especially if you take into account like quantum entanglement. So quantum entanglement actually is super fucking interesting. Here's a very simplified, overly dramatized version of what quantum entanglement is.
Okay.
So imagine two particles are, and I don't know if they specifically have to be electrons, but let's imagine two particles are kind of like passing ships in the night, right? And right when they get to where they're about parallel, something happens and they get intertwined. And then as they pass in their opposite ways, no matter how far they are, they always are related. They're always bonded. So
Oh,
what happens to one, let's say if one is spinning uh clockwise, then the other one is spinning counterclockwise. They're inversely related.
okay.
And so initially Einstein kind of was like, what? Because that could imply that it would be possible to communicate or observe or something faster than light, because it would be instantaneous. As soon as you know that that is spinning clockwise, you know that the other one, regardless of distance, is spinning counterclockwise.
Okay.
So, but the thing is, it's that whole when observed thing.
Mm,
So it, you cannot control which way it does things or how it goes with it. You can only observe it, and then once again, in observing, you instantly know that it's like if you go on a vacation and you find out that you packed, okay, let's say you have two pairs of flip-flops,
okay.
a red pair and an orange pair. You go to Bermuda. and you're like, fuck yeah, I'm gonna put my flip-flops on, I'm gonna go to the beach, and you have the left shoe of the orange one and the right shoe of the red one.
Okay.
Then at home you have the left shoe of the red one and the right shoe of the orange one,
Yeah.
because you only have two. That's the only way it works. That's how it is.
Okay.
Does that make sense at all?
It does, yeah.
Like, so you know that since you have the right shoe of one color with you, then the left shoe of that other color is at home.
Must be at home, yeah. Okay.
So that's quantum entanglement, essentially.
Interesting. I wholeheartedly believe in time travel. I think
so. They think that maybe it could be something as simple as doing some Marty McFly shit, trying to go back and be like, hey, I wrote all the Beatles songs, or, some shit like that. Or it could be, trying to go back and fucking kill Hitler. It could be literally anything like that. But yeah, they think that, in theory, in a fun little thought experiment, that it could be proof of time travel.
I sort of lend credence to that. I think there's a lot about the universe we don't understand. And didn't you say around 2009? So that's like when time got weird, right? Like time changed.
Sort of, yeah. I mean, around 2016 is where shit got really, really weird. And actually, there was a little gopher or rodent. I've heard it be different rodents, some different tellings. Ooh, man, my back is on fire.
Ooh.
That had snuck into the CERN lab, and like the big particle collider, the big hadron collider, and it was postulated that could have made shit get weird. But that's not really how things work. But if it is, I mean, it's a fun thing to think about.
Definitely.
But yeah. See, it doesn't even look right, huh? But do you see how it could be our mind filling in the glare?
Definitely.
My hair is like salt and pepper on top, and it gets more salt and pepper as the years go. But luckily, it's kind of an ashy brown naturally. And so if I'm just like walking around with my everyday hair and it's not dyed, for the most part, people they won't even see the white hairs. They'll just think that they are kind of like, glossy reflection, shadows, whatever.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Like little highlights. They don't see it as white.
Oh.
Wow. I think it's the right one because it's flint stones.
Flintstones. Yeah, that makes
like
more
the stone
sense.
of Flint.
Yeah.
Is it supposed to be the one on the left? Oh yeah, because Flintstones. It's pronounced Flintstones, but
that's a weird one. It looks normal both ways to me.
It looks normal only on the way that's on the right to me, because they would do something with the graphics where the two T's turn into his car top.
Oh, look at that.
Remember?
Yes, that's right. Chartreuse.
Oh, chartreuse. Now that's funny.
Remember
I
that.
I thought that chartreuse was kind of a burnt orangey purple.
Me too.
Huh.
Okay, now here, how about this? Do you remember that movie, The Santa Claus, with Dudley Moore and John Lithgow from the 80s when we were growing up? And the guy who played the Big Lebowski in the wheelchair was Santa.
You know what's funny is no, and I'm a huge Dudley Moore fan.
Oh my God. It's called The Santa Claus Movie. I remember being fucking obsessed with it when I was a kid. It's a great movie. I don't know that it stands the test of time, but so Dudley Moore is an elf working in Santa's workshop. And he comes up with some sort of fucking make you fly dust that like the reindeers get, but you can put it in these lollipops for kids. And I remember him saying they were chartreuse, and it was definitely like a light pink orangey color.
Huh.
Maybe we'll see now.
Well, I think that chartreuse is one of those things that it's a fuzzy trace memory normally from a lot of people, because who the fuck knows what color chartreuse is?
Yeah, I would have thought pinkish orange for sure. That's a trip. Okay. Life is like a box of chocolates is not what he said.
Yeah, he actually said life was like a box of chocolates.
Oh, well, that's definitely my ear overcorrecting. I get that.
One, it's also the thing with his accent. Life was like a box of chocolates. Life was like a box of chocolates. They sound similar.
They very much do.
And also it could go into the to avoid copyright infringement territory. Same thing with this one, actually. I do remember it as Mirror Mirror. Most people do, but once again, like, it could be that somebody was going on to parody it and they couldn't use Magic Mirror on the wall. They had to use Mirror Mirror.
You're 100% right, I bet. Because there's so many different retellings of Snow White.
Oh my God, right? Yes.
I mean,
And then like Looney Tunes versions,
yeah.
other pop culture stuff. And that's the thing, is like with memory, the news can affect your memory. Especially like parody has such a huge place in pop culture.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Such a huge place. I think that people don't give it enough credit.
I think you're right. You've absolutely changed my mind about this. I'm yeah, we talked about this one. Run. Oh.
And for me, the funny thing is, it's supposed to be like Fly You Fools, and in context, Run makes far more sense.
Yeah.
But I mean, you could really say that he said anything, and I'd be like, I fell asleep. I don't even know if I saw that specific movie. They were so fucking boring to me. I'm sorry for everyone who liked them.
Yeah.
Nick is listening to the books right now, and he said that the books are super interesting to listen to. It's almost like Douglas Adams or Terry Pratchett or Neil Gaiman, where they kind of like do little asides that's super interesting. He said, but it's even more so. So I probably would get a kick out of the books, but yeah, I'm sorry, man, the movies didn't do anything for me. I wasn't raised in that culture.
Well, and my mom and I have talked about this before, because she's like, do you remember Shogun? It's this book that's like this fucking thick. And I was like, Mom, I don't have the attention span to read a book like that. She's like, yeah, because you were raised on TV. Like back in the day with Lord of the Rings and The Hobbit and all of those, like, books were that big because that was what you did for entertainment. You didn't watch TV all day or have streaming services. I was like, well, yeah, I'm not built for that. I mean, and I love books. I fucking love to read, but I can't with The Hobbit and Lord of the Rings. I know people are going to come for us, and like, that's fine, but you're never
That's fine.
my mind. You're not. Good morning.
That goes also into the copyright infringement.
100%. Yeah.
Oh, actually, okay, so here's the really interesting part. Let me read this and see if they... Okay, so this one actually is because, and I wrote this one down because I was like, oh no, I can't forget this one. So the whole Of the World thing that was the greatest hits version.
Okay. As soon as I read it, I was like, yeah, I can hear it in my head.
Oh yeah, me too. I'm very like Queen is, this is gonna sound so weird. So like when I get tattooed, or if I'm on the elliptical for longer than I want to be, anytime that I need to disassociate, I can play like most of the Queen's greatest hits album in my head loud enough that like I can hear it in my ears.
Yes.
And so that Bohemian Rhapsody, like there's a handful of other songs from specifically the greatest hits version, that I know every fucking note in that motherfucker. And so this one, I was like, no, like it's Of the World. I know it in my head. I can hear it. So the original pressing that had circulated for like 10-ish years before the greatest hits came out didn't have Of the World.
That's interesting.
And then when they went through and remastered it and everything like that, that was in there. So that one's actually just that one's totally explainable.
That one makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay, this one I have issues with. This one and the Lamb Chop and Sherry song. Like,
okay, so even then, like, that's weird because Alex loves Daniel Tiger.
Totally. And they say In the Neighborhood. Yeah, both my kids love Daniel Tiger. You know what? Maybe it is a copyright thing there too. I mean, even though it was Daniel Tiger's from Fred Rogers.
Exactly. I mean, John Denver got sued for sounding too much like John Denver. So
Yeah,
like,
right. Oh, okay. The number of US states. The answer is 50, but some recall learning there were 51 or 52. Okay, that is easily explained because that was at the same time you're learning to calendar stuff. So there's 50 states, there's 52 weeks. I remember getting this wrong consistently.
huh.
And it was like, because we were learning those two things at the same time, I was confusing them. Also, that was the year when my teacher said, does anyone know what a thesaurus was? And I confidently raised my hand and went, dinosaur, like fucking like the brother in
Oh,
Peppa Pig.
I
And
was just
everyone
thinking like Georgie.
like George, and everyone's like, you're stupid. Yeah, it was this, I believe that was third or fourth grade.
So that's super interesting because I don't remember ever learning how many weeks are in a year, or if I did, it was just like, meh, like immediately I was like, well, fuck that knowledge. Uh, I remember just learning stuff in Girl Scouts. This song about the flag, the 50 nifty United States, something,
Oh.
something 13 original colonies, something, something, learn all about them, da, 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 da. So that's how 50 nifty United States. That's how the fuck I knew that.
That makes sense.
Yeah. But that, yeah. Okay. Actually, here is another one that I'm a little salty about, and I will die on this hill. Uh, he absolutely did.
Yeah, he did.
Because I remember I've had a lot of weird crushes on a lot of weird like people. And I was, I don't know, 7 or 8. And like I had a mad crush on Sinbad. I mean, I still do, but like I did then too. And well, he's cute. All
He
his teeth are
is,
the
yeah.
same size. He's got
Yeah,
pretty skin. He's like
yes. He has pretty
shaped
brown
like
eyes.
he
Yeah.
could pick up a refrigerator probably. Like he looks like he would be really handy like if I needed to feel like a tiny Thumbelina.
See, and that's how I felt about Ice Cube until recently when he came out as a Donald Trump supporter, and then he became not at all attractive to me. But before that, it was like, ooh, you keep me safe in a drive-by. You have pretty skin and pretty eyes, and I like your whole woo
I,
day
I
day
liked his
Craig.
like I liked when he was like in NWA when he was all like he's
Yeah,
got a I don't know, he's got a cute mean mug.
yeah, he
Like
does
he's
definitely.
he's very punk rock. Uh Yeah, I need to quit swooning about him because he's a dummy. But yeah, like I remember
Right.
so no, go
Oh,
back one.
sorry,
I'm not done with Shazam.
sorry.
So I remember like in the 90s, I mean shit, you gotta remember this too. Like in the early mid 90s, they would come out with like what even fuck, even the late 90s, they'd come out with one movie and then another one that was exactly like it like a few months later, like okay, disaster movies, right? They had Armageddon and then Day After Tomorrow.
Yeah,
And so it was always like, and it was pretty much Warner Brothers competing with like
Fox, I think, or
Fox
something.
and Time. Yeah, Fox and Time Warner competing, I believe. Uh and so yeah, like one studio would release a movie about you know, a kid who's really good at basketball, and then the other one releases one that's like a kid who's really good at baseball. And so with this one, I remember this one coming out, and I was like, "Oh, Sinbad, huh?" And because he like used to kind of wear those puffy pants, which is honestly why people might conflate it.
That's true.
And like I had some pants like that when I was 5, and I was like, "Oh, okay, so he gets my vibe, cool." Um, and then like a couple years later, when Shaquille O'Neal was super hot, uh, then that's when Kazam came out. And I just remember like at the time being like, wow, that's a blatant fucking ripoff. Because okay, this was like around the same time as um like Aladdin
Yeah.
and the DuckTales movie where they have the genie.
Yeah.
Um what up?
Oh, I said yeah. Yeah. Sorry.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
was like around that time where like it was very genie centric as far as like kids entertainment goes.
Totally. You know what? I
Um,
think this is one of the time travel fallouts. I think this movie disappeared when whoever traveled back in time and sneezed on a butterfly.
Yeah, no, that could be it though. Actually, you know what the funny thing is about that whole thing, the butterfly effect, was it was actually that had become a comment that a person had made when they were talking about trying to map weather patterns, because you can have the same two fairly identical set of circumstances, like the same part of the same region, the same time of year, roughly the same weather conditions, but one tiny thing can completely set it off and turn it into a hurricane or rain or this, that, the other. And so that was the thought experiment that had been postulated by them, by big weather. I thought that was really interesting too. But so with the Kazam Shazam thing, on Reddit, there was this one guy who had worked in a movie store at about that time, and he had said that they had gotten they were like on sale, so they had gotten 2 VHSs of Shazam. And this isn't like the actual Shazam that did come out. There's a pretty good, very heart-touching movie. This is like the Sinbad one, right? And that he ended up having to watch it a lot because the movie would like skip weird and play weird, and they ended up having to issue a ton of refunds, and he had to watch it a lot because he would have to try to reproduce the conditions of like, is this skipping, why is this fucked up? It always played fine for him, but he would get it sent back a lot saying that like the tracking was off, it was fuzzy, it just straight up wouldn't play. And so then a couple years later, and like he remembers the basic plots and everything, kind of like you or I would remember the basic plot of like a Blippy Halloween special, where like it's something that I can basically tell you what happened in Frozen. I've seen it 1,000 times, but I've never actually sat down and intently watched it for entertainment purposes.
Totally.
You know?
Sorry, go ahead.
No, so he had passively watched this movie like a few dozen times, enough that he could pretty much put together the plot without really like putting the ending together all that well. And then when Kazam came out with Shaquille O'Neal, he had the basic thought also of like, wow, that's a huge, like, that's an obvious blatant ripoff. I remember when that thought entered my head, I had felt so pleased with myself because that was like a really grown up thing to think. And so like Kazam and Shazam had fairly like similar-ish plots, but different. Like they had different plot devices. Shazam had 2 kids, Kazam had 1. Like just different enough to avoid copyright infringement. But yeah, like, and I think that if Kazam had come out as not being real and Shazam was real, I think I'd be able to rationalize it better.
Yeah.
Because then it's like, oh, just something that my brain had seen and I had filled in the blanks. But like it being the reverse, I don't know, man. That's kind of fucking weird for me.
Yeah, that's true. I don't know. I guess what I was gonna ask if anyone's ever asked Sinbad if he like what his take is on this. Like, did
he said he's never done it. He's never been in he like came out and did a press release saying specifically he had never been in that movie.
Maybe they wiped his memory. See, now I'm conspiracy theorizing, but
yeah, I mean, maybe some shit happened with CERN where they went back in time.
Yeah.
Or not went back in time. They were able to target specific memory or a specific event. And in doing that, it kind of fucked up the timeline for everything else. And maybe each time that the Hadron Collider played fucking roller derby with particles and shit, it just slowly like took one memory and shifted it to the right. It's like going in your house and all of your furniture is moved 1 centimeter to the left.
Yeah.
And because I mean, this shit started happening around 2009. I don't know. That's definitely like, entering into tinfoil hat territory for sure.
But it's more, to me, this is more
It's fun
plausible
to
than the
think
others.
about.
Yeah, totally.
I mean, yeah, I mean, if you want to go Occam's razor, like, yeah, it kind of is a little bit more plausible, I suppose.
I think so. Okay. I definitely remember him being Smokey the Bear, but again, like you said, popular culture.
Well, and there was Smacks the Frog.
Yeah.
Um, and so back then everything was something the something.
Yeah. Jabba the Hutt,
Mhm.
Pizza the Hut. Yeah, totally.
Yep, exactly.
Oh, Tank Man is perhaps the most memorable moment during 1989
Yes.
recollections. Some say the man was run over and killed, but other videos show him moving away from the scene. And video has been unavailable. I have honestly no take on this. I don't know anything about this. Do you know about it?
I like my mind can replay it. Uh, I find like I don't have any concrete memory of it. No. If I had to tell you if he moved away or got crushed, I would say that he moved away, but I think that it would be misremembered as he got crushed.
I think it's whatever my brain would want to process in that moment.
But yes,
If I'm having a good day and I'm feeling solid in my mental health, I'd be like, they ran him over. But if I'm feeling at all upset or sad, I'd be like, no, I can't cope with the thought of that. He got away. He was
that
safe.
is that is so funny and so reverse of most people. I thought that you were gonna say if you're having a fucked up day, you'd be like, yeah, he got crushed and his blood went everywhere. So that is so funny. Like on a good day, yeah, I saw some fucked up shit. On a bad day, everything was fine. Like,
And I'm not doing that to be like,
oh
like,
no, I
oh,
know that was
but
a
like,
genuine response from you.
definitely. That's what's happening here. uh,
Shit, man.
kind of, right? Oh, I don't remember him dying, but I don't remember a lot of things happening in 2012. So
Yeah, that's really true. There was quite a few years where I wasn't sure about yeah, there's so one thing that can affect your memory as far as you even remembering thing, even the perception of time itself is like different mental health stuff like depression, isolation, things like that. Times where a person is less living in the now and more living in the past, they end up not making, storing, processing current memories.
that's brilliant. That's
So
brilliant.
that's why there's like there was a really long time, like I mean a very vast chunk of my life where I was just super fucking depressed. And I don't remember, I mean, I was heavily medicated too, and I was like self-medicated, but I don't remember a lot of that.
Yeah.
And so I know that it can't all be because I was on like sleeping pills and I was like smoking a lot of pot and doing a lot of drugs. Like a lot of it is also just because, yeah, my brains were fucking preoccupied with
Yeah.
being super fucking depressed. It's a full-time job.
It really is. Well, and like I don't follow religion, so I don't follow Billy Graham or Mother Teresa being canonized anyway. Um yeah,
Wait, Billy Graham was canonized? I don't believe
oh
that.
no, sorry. Mother Teresa was canonized, Billy Graham died. I
Yeah,
honestly,
she was absolutely canonized.
yeah. I just don't give.
Wait, no, go back. Now I want to know, was she?
She was. Okay, so when she was canonized as saint.
Oh, 2016 sounds right.
Yeah. But
Yeah, no,
again,
she wasn't canonized when she was still alive. I know that much.
yeah.
Billy Graham, though. Yeah, fuck that guy. That guy's terrible.
Yeah, that guy's.
Space Shuttle Challenger explosion.
Oh God, I don't remember. I mean, I was too little. I was what?
I was born in 85. I honestly thought it happened in like 89.
Yeah, I was born in 81. So like I definitely didn't give a shit at 5 years old what was happening in the world. I cared about ramen noodles and grape Kool-Aid and Weird Al Yankovic. Like 100%.
Man, that's how I was in 1996. That was my whole life. Now the Lindbergh Baby. Okay, so I do have some like Baby memories, and that actually kind of lends the
whoa.
credence to some of this. Is I wasn't a baby then. That wasn't necessarily in pop culture when I was a little kid, but a little it was.
Yeah.
Um, I So my favorite movie, one of my like top fours when I was a little kid, was Ernest Goes to Camp.
Never seen it. I'm sorry.
No, it's fine. You're better. It's, dude, it's got, yeah, they couldn't make that movie now because if they did, people would be like, this is the script for Ernest Goes to Camp. I stole that joke, but it was funny. Anyway, but no, so there was this one part where like I guess he's super scared of getting vaccinated or getting a shot, and he needed to get a shot for something for some reason.
Mhm.
And so the nurse comes at him and she's got, you know, like the fucking needle that's oozing. And it's like as long as my arm and as thick as a pencil. And he's like, I am Joseph Mengele. I killed the Lindbergh Baby. Or some,
Like Pee-wee style, trying to get out of it.
yeah, totally. And I'm pretty sure that that's what he said.
Ah,
So I thought that the Lindbergh Baby was killed, I think, I don't know. Like that's definitely one of those things of like, I know I hung out in like in old circles then. Like most of my friends were like 76 when I was 5. I hung out at the Grange Hall a lot. What can I say? I was a hopping kid.
oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, I wore cool hats. I was, yeah.
See,
Uh,
hats are worth some things.
I got snacks too for being a good girl. So like, I mean, yeah.
Awesome.
Oh yeah, I had a great childhood. It was fun.
Oh, people have said they remember him recovering. Oh no, I don't remember him. I
Oh, I
remember how
wish he
sad I
would
was.
have.
Me too.
Yeah. Man, he was one of
Oh,
my OG crushes.
dude, me too. Oh, Julia. This one
Oh, I wish. Did he?
no.
Okay, so actually that's one thing I had thought before all of this hullabaloo about Leo never getting an Oscar. I think any one of us would have just assumed that he had for, I don't know anything. He's an amazing actor. Like I thought he got one for Gilbert Grape,
Me too.
but maybe that's just because he ought to have.
Dude,
I
him.
wonder what beat him out that year.
I don't know. You know what? I would
Gotta
like
be
to know
good.
that too, because anyone who watched him cry over his dead mom's body, mama, like how could you not give him the fucking Oscar for that? It broke my heart into a million pieces. I think it took me a week
Oh
to
yeah,
recover.
absolutely.
Oh, I remember hating Johnny Depp after that briefly, but just for a little while. Okay. Um I don't know. See, I don't know about this. I've been to Disney World once. I was 18. My best friend and I at the time, we both worked at Hilton Hotel Reservations, the phone.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, it was really cool. And so her mom was like a second mom to me. And we booked this trip. We went to Orlando for like, I want to say like 10 days or something crazy. We were so young. We were 18. We flew across the country alone. We got a sweet smoking deal on a Hilton hotel room, and we rented a car from some sketchy swamp guy and just like hung out in Disney World for like 10 days. I have no memory of where the fucking castle is. You know what I remember? I remember us getting a big old plate of s'mores and driving around in a rental car that we had no business being in. That's all I remember of that trip.
That
So,
sounds right.
oh my God, it was so fun. I have
There's
my,
a,
oh, sorry, go ahead.
oh no, go on.
Oh, I had pictures at the time. I have like these long fake acrylic nails, and I'm skinny and like tiny and young and like very Florida looking. So I'm sure that they did not have, they were like,
Was your
oh,
hair
you're one of
bleached?
us. You know what? It was like, but it
Ah!
was like that orange that dark haired people only get, never get blonde. Yeah.
It was sun and bleach.
Yeah, totally. I'll have to throw up a picture on our Insta one day.
Yeah,
I
dude.
believe it's the same trip where I'm wearing like a halter top that comes up to here and booty shorts and posing with a cow that we found outside of something. I don't know. Christy and I went on a lot of trips with her mom, and dude, her mom was the best. She was just the best mom ever. Like her mom bought me my first car. Her mom was the one who taught at Clackamas Community Center and like was the reason that I got to go to college when I dropped out of high school. Like her mom was a saint, and she passed away from breast cancer not too long ago. And like the world I think is a worse place because she's gone. But yeah, she sent us to Disney World as like young pups out in the world, just like was like, you're my daughter too now. You guys go have fun. It was the
Oh,
best.
that's great.
It was great, but I was definitely feeling myself that trip. I was so skinny. We were so little. We were so just like tiny children at Disney World. Oh, good
I
times.
went I went to Disneyland when I was 15, and I it was one of those things, like, my mom and I had been trying to go to Disneyland since I was like 7, and just like shit kept happening, like just crazy shit kept happening. And so finally, uh okay, when I say crazy shit, I mean like my grandmother died the week that we were supposed to go, one of the times.
That's
Like we just kept it, like crazy shit kept happening. And
oh.
so this time my uncle fucking died, or was about to die. And my mom was like, "No, we are going. We are going." And so she had gone to California for work, and I had just been like home for I don't know, like a week or a couple of weeks or a few weeks or something. And school got over, and so she was like, "Hey, my boss will pay for you to come down here if you want to." And so I was like, "Yeah, sure. I ain't got shit else to do." And so I came down there, and I mean, I was super fucking goth. Like I chain smoked Camel wides.
Yes.
I had long black hair.
Yeah.
Uh, I was very mood. And Disneyland, like my mom and I were like trying our best to have a really good time, but it was just like so much of us just being like this is a long time coming, but being still so fucking bittersweet that we were trying to have fun for the other one, I guess.
Yeah. I get
Um, and the only place that I could back then, you could still smoke in Disneyland.
I remember that. I remember smoking in Disneyland.
And
Yeah.
well, so I went to Futureland because I wanted the least amount of people to glare at me. And I figured that that would be like the spot. So I tucked myself back into like this itty bitty, like fucking tiny nether corner to smoke my cigarettes. Like, I mean, you know, like my mom knew that I was smoking. I wasn't hiding that I was smoking from people. I just like, it was around the beginning of when people would glare at you for smoking around kids.
Yeah.
Um, and so like I said, I was just trying to get less glares from normies. And as I lit up, like a bus full of children just walked by like an inch away from me. I'm like, that's on you. Fuck, I am as far back as I can get. I cannot possibly go further back, and not smoking isn't an option. If
Oh,
you want to keep your children alive, let me keep smoking.
dude, there's some kid somewhere who's like, Mommy, I just that day at Disneyland, remember I saw the scary witch lady with the long black hair was just
Oh, is this guy? Oh, is this guy here? Yeah. Um, I definitely had more fun at Orlando Studios, but I don't remember. I think that the castle was just past the entrance, and the location of the castle could be like just people misremembering, like, you know, people who go to Disney all the time, like misremembering which site it was, or just like combining characteristics of different sites together.
I still confuse Disney World and Disneyland sometimes. When
Oh yeah, I bet.
absolutely.
Um, Another thing is, so there was one study where they had shown people pictures of a college campus that they had never been to, and then like telling them stories, or you know, putting kind of doing like false memories. And then a year later, so after all of these people had seen these pictures, agreed they had never been to this campus, 1 year later they were shown pictures, and they were kind of doing like the study again, and like something like 40% of those people had said that they had been there or had attended school there.
Wow.
Yeah,
That
so
is,
that could be part of the Disneyland thing.
yeah,
um
totally. That would make sense.
So I have a couple of weird Mandela effect things that are kind of like specific to me. One of them is I believe it was 2003-ish. And my mom and I had gone to our family reunion. It was like the first one in a very long while. And we saw I saw a lady and I was like, wow, that looks a lot like Great Aunt Norma. And I was like, I don't know, maybe it's her sister or something. Cause like my family's super like accepting. Like if you know somebody or have ever known somebody who is related to us, you're welcome at our reunions. Like we just like people. And so we just figured maybe it was her sister or something. No, it was her. I had a vivid memory of her dying a little bit after my Uncle Gordon did, or a little bit before.
Whoa.
And my Uncle Gordon died a little after my grandmother.
In what year was that? 90? Was it in the 90s?
Let's see. Grandma died in like 98. And I think that I remember him dying by like the year 2000.
So
And I thought that she died a little bit before or a little after, but I wasn't the only one who thought that she died. My mom also was like, that's Aunt Norma. And I was like, and she's like, I know. And then my Aunt Chris also, my grandmother's sister, my great Aunt Irma's sister-in-law, also thought that she had died around the same time as my Uncle Gordon.
Whoa.
She didn't die until maybe 6 years after that, after we had seen her.
That's a trip. Did you talk to her at all?
Fuck yeah. Yeah. Like,
okay. I was gonna say,
I sat on her lap.
Okay.
No, dude, I literally sat on her. She insisted I sat on her lap, and I was like 18, and I was like, whatever, you're like 90, and so I'm just glad you're alive. I'm just gonna do whatever. Apparently, I was the only person who was hella stoked. You know how I like grumpy people, and I like grumbly people, and I like people who most people don't like. She's no exception. Apparently, she was like really mean to everybody, but she was always super nice to me.
Oh, wow.
I was the only kid that apparently she didn't actively hate.
There we go.
Like for the longest time, I just assumed that people were like a lot more sensitive than I was, or had a different definition of, so-and-so yelled at me. They don't like me. I was just like, oh, you're just being sensitive. They're super nice. And then I see the way that other people get treated, and I'm like, oh, everyone just treats me better than they treat everyone else. So whenever I say, I don't know, they were always nice to me, that's not just me being clueless. Chances are they were just really nice to me and really mean to everyone else.
See, well, that makes sense. You're a good person.
I guess. Or people can't be mean to me. Another one is, and this is the last one, and then I will let you go.
Oh, no, you're fine. My
Hugh
knees is
Hefner.
fucking up. Hugh Hefner.
Oh no, that my back hurts all the time right now. I thought that Hugh Hefner died like in like 2012 or 2013 or something, and there was like a whole hullabaloo about it.
Oh.
And so then like when there was something like he got like a Playboy, or not a Playboy roast, a Friars Club roast, and I was like, oh, yeah. Weird. Yeah. And I didn't know he was still alive. I thought he had died like a couple years before that. Like I could vividly remember like there being a whole thing about it, and not even that him being sick. Like I remember like memorial stuff, like at the end of like reward ceremonies, and being like, and this is to Hugh Hefner, and da, da, da. Like I remembered the whole fucking thing about it.
You might have hopped timelines.
My buddy Eli and I think that we hop timelines a lot.
Yeah.
That actually goes into quantum suicide also, but I'll talk about that later.
Yes, I want to know all about that. Oh, thanks for joining us, everybody. Join us again soon. We'll have more stuff for you. And definitely join us for the Repo the Genetic Opera viewing. It'll be fun.
It'll be fun.